Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the BeTechly and Microsoft 365 Community Conference Scheduled Preview Series 2026. We're just 2 weeks away from the conference, and the full schedule is officially live. Now's the perfect time to explore the sessions, plan your days, and start getting excited about what's ahead. Over the next 6 business days, we'll guide you through this year's career shaping pillar topics, sharing previews of the content, the experiences, and helpful tips to make the most out of your time in Orlando. Today, we're turning our focus to one of the core themes of this year's conference: governance, security, and compliance. Looking at how organizations move beyond rollout to build trust, secure, and well-governed usage of Microsoft 365 and Copilot. So these, capabilities are embedded into everyday work in a way that enables productivity without compromising security. Security is, of course, a top priority as organizations expand AI across Microsoft 365. The focus is on building trust through strong security and governance, enabling Copilot to be used confidently while balancing innovation with risk protection at scale. At this year's conference, Governance, Security, and Compliance features 38 sessions focused on governance, security, and platform readiness. To start, we'll show you how to locate these sessions, apply filters, and begin planning your conference experience right away. First, we'll head over to the nextgen365events.com website, which you can see on the screen. And from the top navigation, select Sessions. Once you're on the session page, you'll see options to refine your results. You can filter sessions in several ways by type, level, industry focus, speaker, or topic, to quickly find what's most relevant to you. But for now, we'll choose topic, then we'll select governance, security, and compliance. So as you can see here, there's no additional step required. Selecting a topic automatically filters the sessions for you, making it easy to scroll through and explore the full range of content available for this topic at the conference. Well, if you click any individual sessions, you'll be able to see the date, time, and the full session details, which make it easier to decide what you want to attend. Along with the breakout sessions, the conference also features hands-on workshop. These immersive sessions go deeper, giving you dedicated time to learn, explore, and apply ideas in an interactive setting, perfect for putting concept into practice. Our team is actively building additional planning tools, including a downloadable full schedule and improved ways to explore sessions by day. While those enhancements are coming soon, all the essentials you need to begin planning are available right here. As you build your schedule, please keep in mind that sessions are first come, first serve, and each room has limited capacity. Some sessions fills up quickly, so we strongly recommend planning early and having a clear idea of what you'd like to attend. Beyond the session content, this year's conference will also feature more than 70 exhibitors and sponsors where they'll be offering hands-on experiences, engaging booth activation, and in many cases, their own sessions and deeper dive opportunities throughout the event. Today, you'll get a preview of two of this year's sponsors, highlighting what they're planning and what attendees can look forward to when you stop by their booth in the exhibit hall. With that, I'd like to introduce our first sponsor for today, Nick at Script Runner.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ella, for this introduction. Hello, everyone. Great. Thank you very much for having me here. My name is Nick. I'm solution engineer, automation consultant from Script Runner. And today I will talk a bit about Script Runner. I think I have about 15, 20 minutes from what I understood. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really often delivering the sales pitches, right? My expertise is more showing hands-on demos, how our product actually works. So today I decided I will combine both of this, right? I will first explain what do we do, and then I will show you a quick demo of how we solve the problems. So Script Runner, we are Microsoft automation platform. And what that means is Microsoft automation is based mostly on the PowerShell scripts, right, as building blocks. And in big organizations, you have thousands of those scripts, and they're scattered across different folders, repositories, email threads, and it's very difficult to make to make it scalable, to make it secure, compliant, and so on, right? And that's what we do with Script Runner. We make your scripting environment more efficient, secure, centralized, able to delegate, efficient, and so on. Let me show you how we do that before I go to the demo. Uh, so, right, how we do that, we just look at the market and we see and we tell you what we see on the market when it comes to scripting. So first of all, agentic automation not operationalized, right? So I started here with Microsoft automation. Now agentic automation is a big trend, and of course that's uh, whenever we're talking about agentic automation, it's not operationalized. Also, when it comes to scripts, right? And another thing is there is enterprise risk through uncontrolled access. Let's say you made a script, now you want to delegate it. It's very difficult to do so without exposing some accesses. So you have privilege sprawl, as we call it, and on top of that, it's just some people don't know how to run scripts, right? It's not. It's something for coding people, and we are entering this no code era where you want to be able to execute scripts without knowing the coding part, right? Another problem we observe is lack of governance and compliance. And what that means is, let's say you have 1,000 scripts and different operators run those scripts. So you don't really have a visibility. You don't have a one place where you can see all the logs, all your scripts executions across your hybrid environment. And Script Runner um, solves that, and I will show you how by providing you with one place where you can see all the executions. Less productivity and quality. Of course, when it comes to scripting, one of the things, let's say you have thousands of scripts and you don't know what scripts you have, right? So you have to look in different places. Another thing is sometimes you need custom solutions. Let's say you want to inject credentials in your scripts or you want to delegate. And for all of that, you need custom solutions. So it takes a lot of time. And most of the time, there is so called tribal knowledge, right? When one person knows how it works, and when they leave or you need to hand over, it becomes a mess. And finally, tool sprawl erodes automation ROI. Well, being there, you have hundreds of different tools to do different things, and in the end, it's very difficult to coordinate and use them together. And all of this, of course, has an impact on your business. First of all, AI investments fail to deliver. There have been a lot of hype about AI in 2019, 20, and now, and some of it is hype and some of it is not hype, right? And it all comes down to whether you were able to justify those AI investments, were you able to deliver ROI or not? Privilege sprawl and identity exposure create compliance gaps, security gaps. All of that leads to vulnerabilities and cyber attacks. Manual remediation and scattered audit evidence increase risk. So, manual remediation, this is when you react instead of being proactive, right? You find issues only when they arise, and this leads to many risks, right? So, first of all, you lose time because you're not proactive. You're fixing things instead of preventing them. And of course, by finding out only when it's happened, it means that there was a lot of damage already. Other things include alert storms, repetitive incidents, consume IT time, right? So instead of using your IT people time to work on your strategic initiatives, sometimes they waste their time on those repetitive incidents that should be automated. Finally, siloed scripting and lack of centralized control increase technical debt, and that's one of the issues we are solving with ScriptRunner. And as a result of all of this, strategic initiatives stall, costs rise while SLA breaches increase. You depend on senior admins, tribal knowledge. All of this leads to audit failures and delayed productivity. Configuration drift and outdated audit trails expose the organization to compliance violations, and teams are overwhelmed by manual tasks, leading to burnout and reduced service reliability. And the last one, maintenance overhead grows, visibility drops, and automation efforts fail to scale. Right. So we are agentic automation platform for Microsoft ecosystems, centralized, secure, and policy driven. One of thousands of the cases that we delivered is with our biggest client, Bros. They needed a secure central control with local IT flexibility. They were risking over privileged local admins, lack of granular user-friendly automation, and by implementing ScriptRunner, the result was more than 4,000 hours saved annually. They were able to achieve central and global automation and reduce their errors. Finally, before I jump into a quick demo, just want to show you some of our biggest enterprise clients. We're trusted by more than 200 enterprise customers worldwide. We are more than 10 years on the market, and we're 100% built on Microsoft. And now I will switch to another screen. Let's see how that works. Right. Okay, great. I think that's working now. Right. Right, so let me just quickly show you how ScriptRunner works with Storyline demo. Right, so this is what you see. This is ScriptRunner interface, right? And uh, the main concept in ScriptRunner is so-called action. So action, it's a concept that bundles together different components of automation, and which are the we can look at one of the examples, create a new user. Different components of automation are, so first of all, here you have general, which is documentation for your script, right? That's something that documentation exists for software programs, but when it comes to scripting, lots of developers tend to skip that part. Another part is script itself, right? So we are using reference to the Git repository that is also stored here. The targets, so the machines where you're running your script. Delegations, so this is, let's say you are IT admin and you want to delegate this script to non-IT person from, let's say, HR department, accounting department. This is where you do it. And finally, approvals for critical tasks where you want at least someone, at least one person to double check whether this execution is okay before starting it. Finally, connectors. You can, whenever you create action in ScriptRunner, it also creates a webhook so you can trigger your script via API. And this is how you integrate ScriptRunner with your external systems like ServiceNow, Jira, and anything that can speak API can send API requests, right? And of course, you can also add schedules. You can schedule your actions to run however you want, right? So you just choose the frequency, and finally, in configuration, you can also choose the script that you're attaching, right? So this is Git based, meaning that you simply connect your script runner to the Git repository of your choice. Bitbucket, GitLab, we support all of them. And all of the scripts, they will appear here. You can assign tags to them. So this is really great way to centralize all your scripts in one place. And this is how it looks if we navigate to one of the scripts. I'm not going to go into details, but I just want to show you this param block, right? So this is the only thing that you need to write. And param block, it's basically, it asks you what kind of parameters you need to execute the script. Let's say you want to create a user. In that case, you need the username, last name, department, and so on. And so just by writing this, script runner then takes this, and let me show you the last part, and it turns that script into this form, right? And from now on, anyone without any coding knowledge, if you give them access, they can come here and they just need to enter this information, the form, click run, and it will be executed. And since we're talking about governance compliance today, one of the main features of Script Runner is this reporting. So whenever you run a script on any of your machines across your hybrid environment, every execution will be stored here, right? And this is great for two things. First of all, debugging. Whenever there is an error, you will get an email or other ways, however you want to be contacted. This is easily set up here, right, where it's almost no code. And second reason, it's great for auditability. Let's say in a couple of years you have an audit, you have to prove something. This is your legal proof. You can show everything here, right? So the script name, when it started, the machine where it was executed, and on top of that, um, if you navigate to one of them, you can see the exact logs, right? What has happened. And there are, of course, many different features. We have very limited time. I will be glad to discuss this in more details, right, at our uh, conference very soon. Before we, before I finish this, I just want to tease you a little bit with our newest feature that's coming soon. This is 100% focused on AI agents, and this is Script Runner Workflow Engine. Workflow Engine was designed to make agentic scripting possible, and this is something I would like to show you in Orlando. I think by that time we will deliver that. So I'll be glad to show you that in real life. So on that note, I think I'm ending. If anyone have questions, please let me know. I'll be glad to answer them.
Thank you so much for that, Nick. It was a wonderful presentation and insightful. Now let's hear from our second sponsor, Jay at Continue.
Hi, thanks, Ella. Appreciate the time. My name is Jay Gregg. I'm a strategic sales engineer here at Ontenu, and I'm going to spend a few minutes running through some high-level overviews of our solution, our platform, and why we are focused on the Microsoft security investment. Let me start sharing my slides real quick, and we will get going. Hopefully you can see that okay. So my counterpart, Wafa, is actually, I had to move up on a flight, so she wasn't able to join this morning, so I'll be running solo today. So Ontenu is really focused on tough questions that we find our CISOs get from their board. And that is really what are they doing to prevent threats in a timely manner, in an accurate manner, and in a preventative manner. Ontenu is focused on these three kind of key pillars. Speed comes from what I'll talk a little bit more about in regards to our artificial intelligence in the platform and just our 24/7 SOC. Accuracy comes with our focus on the Microsoft security stack. It allows us to be very complete, very accurate, and frankly, significantly more capable than most sort of general purpose managed detection and response platforms out there. And then really the thing that I think separates Ontenu from the rest of the sort of, we'll call it 600 vendors in this space is prevention. because we focus on the security stack from Microsoft, which is a complex set of tools that do require a lot of time, effort, and investment from our customers to truly understand. We help reduce that complexity, and then we really do deploy a continuous improvement model that our customers tell us over and over again is why they continue to renew with Ontenu. If I really have one message to any potential customer, specifically if you can come by our booth, it's if you have made the investment with Microsoft Security, and if these products that I'm presenting here look familiar, that is Defender for Endpoint Plan 2, Defender for Cloud, obviously Entra ID, Microsoft Sentinel, and Microsoft Teams. These are areas that you're working or want to work. We are very effective here. We only expect that our customers come to us with Defender for Endpoint Plan 2 and a specific Entra license. From there, we will fully deploy Sentinel, stand it up, secure it, and as well integrate via Teams. Most of my customers that have made the investment into sort of that E5 stack, if you will, or at least made a fundamental investment into Microsoft, appreciate the Teams integration above all else. But these are sort of the standard requirements for our platform. And what I find again is there's two schools of thought out there. There's the customers that have made a smart and strategic decision to go forward with Microsoft Security, and those that are really kind of deploying a lot of different products to provide the same function. Listen, whatever the choice is, whatever the reason for those choices, we feel strongly that when you correlate and combine the signaling that we see from Microsoft, that you're in the best position security wise. But you might be asking, what does an Ontenu do to be accurate and fast? And really, it comes down to the fact that we have a data science team in Switzerland. We're based in Zurich, Switzerland. That team is focused on effectively empowering humans' abilities to make a decision on a true positive threat. How do we do that? Well, we first have to identify the alert. We have to enrich and triage that alert. But the old ways of enriching and triage are just frankly not good enough anymore. You have to focus on what can we automate and determine or make deterministic threat investigations very quickly. And the fact of the matter is our AI team is focused specifically on providing those very kind of slow-moving, process-heavy, sometimes challenging processes to enrich and triage and investigate a threat. They come too fast for just humans to do alone anymore. And that's the reality of 2026 and going forward. So when you look at what we do, the enrichment happens very quickly. The investigation can happen very quickly too with our autonomous investigator. And then we utilize the functionality that Microsoft presents to us. We can take attack disruption activities in as little as 3 minutes. And we have seen that in our SOC. Ransomware activities stopped within 3 minutes. That's the kind of speed and accuracy that you need to provide a service like what we do. As a threat advances and gets more challenging, again, we utilize that AI-powered SOC to enhance a human's ability to make a decision on the validity of the threat. Threats sometimes look like threats that are benign positives or false positives, but at the end of the day, we have to be helping that human make that decision. So we again run through a full process. It's AI backed and supported. It's rated and reviewed. The AI team constantly is assessing the value of the artificial intelligence decisions, and then ultimately a human will escalate to a customer if required. And listen, we feel like this sort of hybrid AI sort of human SOC is the way to go. There are definitely options out there that do one or the other. We feel like the hybrid gives our customers the best outcomes. So the numbers are staggering, right? 50,000 automated checks every 24 hours. We have 7 AI investigation steps. But what does it result into our customers, right? Well, it's a 55% reduction in response time. We measure this, we see it, we can report the mean time to respond to our customers and show the value of what we continue to develop into the platform with our autonomous investigator. The other part, though, that kind of comes out from our perspective is a lot of our customers have made this investment with Microsoft Security, but they're not improving their security program. We actually will deploy a full security posture improvement process into your environment. And that is where we're really looking beyond just how tools are set up, how policies are deployed. It goes into a lot of the challenges that we see from existing MDR providers. That is they're using the same playbooks, they have the same alerts, the same responses. I hear all the time from customers, all I get from my existing MDR vendor is the same alerts that I have to go and close myself. There's almost no feedback into the policies or configurations that really matter in terms of improving a customer security program. At the end of the day, too, so many MDRs out there are focused on having you deploy their tools which work in their environment. And if you leave that MDR, those tools are no longer worthwhile. We approach it completely differently. We say you've made a proper investment in Microsoft security. Now let us enhance that. And at the end of the day, the right side of the slide is something that every MDR should be doing. They should be detecting and disrupting. They should be doing triage. They should be making decisions and responding. The left side of the slide, though, is very rare and missing in a lot of MDRs. And that is that if we see a threat or we see something that's problematic, then we want to come back and adjust the rules, policies, and automation to reduce that future risk. And that is why we have such a high retention rate at Ontenue. Our customers tell us that they start with Ontenue in one position and they always end more secure. So I'm just going to hit on a couple of things because SPI for us is huge. It's really, really important. But like, we're going to be looking into areas of gaps, maybe missing logs. What kind of incidents are occurring over and over again? That could be an indicator of something that is weakly configured or misconfigured. Let's talk about that. Let's fix that. If we see constant repeated things that we have to manually respond to, then Ontenue has the power to automate that on behalf of a customer's environment. So again, some of the areas that we spend time working on are better conditional access policies, better attack surface reduction, right? Better detections overall, and more automation tied back to those functions. And again, for those of you Microsoft security customers, think about how many OR policies you have around conditional access. And did you deploy an OR policy around conditional access because it got something to work? Well, getting something to work and keeping it secure can sometimes be two different things. So at the end of the day, we again want to highlight ultimately the service will always be improving. Whether it's from the development lifecycle, we have a very defined and clear development lifecycle to the posture improvement policies or the response that we're taking beyond automations. This is a service that continues to get better. We see it from our NPS score. We're up over 80 now on our NPS score. That was a significant growth year over year. That comes from building out this platform and this process. So if all that sounds interesting, we'd love for you to meet us at booth 811. And here's the questions I'm going to ask you when you come up and talk to me. Are you using or do you plan to use Microsoft's Defender for Endpoint Plan 2? If the answer to that is yes, let's talk about where are you with Entra? Have you made a fundamental investment into the security enriched functions of Entra, also known as Plan 2? Are you looking for a 24/7 365 SOC? Right? Do you find that your current MDR provider is doing some of the things that I've referred to? Are you getting a lot of false positives? Do you sense the service is improving? And most importantly, do you feel like your existing MDR provider is doing the things with your security investment with Microsoft that you want? Or are they deploying tools that work for them and ultimately don't really help you if you ever leave that provider? And at the end of the day, we feel like transparency is one of the most important components of our platform. I can absolutely show you what that looks like, but we're going to start to expose even more and more of the platform, what the platform does for our customers. And really, we spend most of our time in that transparency first model. So if the answer to any of these questions is yes, I'm interested in this, I want to talk more, please come meet us at booth 811. So I will just mention one other quick thing too. If you do decide that based on those questions that I just showed you, this is something that you want, we can be very fast to deploy. Our average onboarding time for customers is 15 days. We ask about 2 days of your time. And at the end of the day, we can be faster because we are focused on this Microsoft security solution. So I'm going to move on to say thank you, just because I want to make sure I stick to time. But please come visit us at booth 811. And Ella, I think I'll hand it back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay, for that. Thank you so much. And let's bring Nick on this stage as well. All right. Well, thank you so much to both of you. We're so excited to see what you bring to the conference this year. So, as we wrap up, a few important reminders to everyone. If you're registered, keep an eye out for your invite to the conference mobile app, Wova, where you'll be able to build your personal schedule, create meetups, and plan your days in more details. And then if you haven't registered yet for the Microsoft 365 Community Conference, you still have the time to save 150 on your conference pass by using the code SAVE150. And if you're part of a small business or nonprofit, grant applications are still open. So visit us at change3e.com/grants or just scan the QR code on your screen. If you have questions, you can always reach out to the team at info@nextgen365events.com or connect with us on site in Orlando. Our goal is simple: to help you have the best possible experience at the hashtag M365Con26. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today, and we can't wait to see you in Orlando. Bye, all.